So these are the four possible boxes that people, your respondents, could have ticked a one box to. And here is the frequency. So in total, the total amount here is 30 questionnaires. So you gave out 30 questionnaires and 2 people ticked between 5 and 10, 5 people between 10 and 15, 7 people between 15 and 20, 5 people between 20 and 25, and 11 people picked between £25 or more. So if we look at the mode, we said the mode was the most frequently occurring amount. So on here, which one is the most frequently occurring amount? Well, obviously, the most frequently occurring amount is 11, because 11 people said that they would pay £25 or greater than £25. So we can see that the mode here is equal to 11. Therefore, it represents people willing to pay £25, greater than £25. What about the median? We said that the median was the middle number. But then how do we work out the middle number in a group data? So what we do is in the median, we take the sum of the frequency, the total of the frequency, which is 30, we add 1 and we divide by 2. So we take the total of the frequency. Remember, these are the total number of questionnaires you've given out, and these are the ticks that people put in the different price categories. And take the sum of the total number of frequency plus 1 divided by 2 gives us 15.5. So where does 15.5 sit in here? So 15.5 is greater than 15, so it's between 15 and £20. So we can see that the middle number in terms of the middle number is between 15 and greater than £15, but less than or equal to £20. What about the mean? The mean is the average. How do we work out the mean? Well, in order to work out the mean, we first need to work out the midpoint. Okay, so the midpoint is worked out, the midpoint between 5 and 10. So the midpoint between 5 and 10 is 8. What is the midpoint between 10 and 15? It's 13. The midpoint between 15 and 20 is 18. The midpoint between 20 and 25 is 23. And this one we've got about 28. So we put these midpoints in. Now, this one's more of an approximate. So 8, 13, 18, 23, and 28. So, but normally you would have a figure here, so it would be 30. 30 and above. Let's put 30. £30. Greater than or equal to £30. Okay. So we've got this one here, 28. So these are the midpoints. So the frequency comes from your questionnaire information that consumers have ticked the box. The midpoints are the midpoints between your numbers given in the questions. And then we will call the midpoint X and the frequency F. So you have X and F. And then you multiply F times X. So 2 times 8 is 16, 13 times 5 is 69, 18 times 7 is 126, 23 times 5 is 115, and 28 times 11 is 308. So here we can now see that we're building up this table. The frequency is given by what your consumers give you. The midpoint is the midpoint of all of these. Fx is just X times F here. you total this up, which gives you the sum of fx. So you take, to get the mean, you take the sum of fx here, the mean equals the sum of fx divided by the sum of f. So the mean is the sum of fx, the sum of this box times this box gives this box, the total number, which is called the sum, divided by the sum or the total of your frequency. So the total of your fx is 630 divided by 30 gives you £21. So which box does £21 sit in? Well, £21 sits in the box which is greater than £20 but less than or equal to £25. So we can see that the average price that consumers are prepared to pay sits between greater than £20 but less than or equal to £25. So let me just say that again. The frequency you get, which is the number of respondents who tick the various boxes, the price boxes, the midpoints are the midpoints of these prices which you put in here. And then to get fx, x is the midpoint, f is the frequency, f times x gives you fx, and you take the total, the sum of fx divided by the total or the sum of f gives you the average. And then you say, where does this sit in your pricing categories? Well, it sits here. Okay, so that's the mode, median and mean completed in your table so far. So we've completed this, this and this. Now, in order to look at the variance, we need to look at this formula here. The variance is the sum of fx squared. So the sum of fx squared divided by the sum of f times minus x squared. So what we're saying is that now we need to put in x squared. Well, x squared is this box here. Before we can do the sum of fx squared, we need to do x squared. So the next box to do is x squared. So you just, x is the midpoint. So 8 times 8 is 64. 13 times 13 is 169. 18 times 18 is 324. 23 times 23, which is squared, is 529. And 28 times 28 is 784. So when I say x squared, it's x times itself. So 8 times 8, 13 times 13, 18 times 18, 23 times 23, and 28 times 28, which gives you x squared. So we then take this number here, 64, and as in the question, we times it by f. Sorry. And then we times it by f. So if you multiply it by f, you can see that 2 times 64 gives you 128. So all of these, then you times f times x squared, which gives you fx squared. Then you take the sum. You take the sum of fx squared, which gives you a total down here. So once you've got the sum of fx squared, you divide that by the sum of f. And the sum of f is 30, and fx squared, or the sum of fx squared, is 14,510 minus x squared, which is the mean. And we worked out earlier the mean here, and we said that the mean was 21. So 21 squared works out to be 21 times 21, which is 441. Therefore, 14,510 divided by 30 gives you 483.7 minus 441 gives you 42.7, or if we round it up to 43. So we can see that the variance is 43. Now the final part is to work out the standard deviation. Now to work out the standard deviation, what we do is the square root of 43. So the square root of 43 is something times itself, which equals 43. So something times itself, and you can put this in a calculator to work it out. So 6.56 times 6.56 will give you approximately 43, which works out the standard deviation. So what does this mean? So here we have analysed the data. So we've analysed the data. So what does this tell us in terms of the data? This tells us that that the average price people are prepared to pay is between 20, greater than 20, but less than or equal to £25. But we know that the standard deviation is 6.56. So if this is the average, we know that people may actually pay more than the average